Welcome back, everyone. We are getting set to go. I apologize for the insanely rapid turnaround. We're just kind of going into it. Ohio State, Michigan State. Yeah, right back underway. Again, I do apologize for the very quick turnaround between these games. Unfortunately, because of the way the start times worked out, we're just getting going immediately. Not much pregame. Don't worry. We will work through it. Michigan State looking to get started early. B-boys. What a save for the Buckeyes to open things up. But this sure should be a fun one. I mean, Michigan State, the Spartans, currently sitting top 10 in the CCS power rankings. Currently number 7 after last week. Did have themselves a big loss to Rutgers. Michigan State has been one of the most interesting teams to keep an eye on so far. They have kind of been all over the place to start. Everyone expected this team to be complete and utter dominance, but dropping a couple games early and, getting swept by the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers was really kind of a wake-up for everyone here in CCS saying, wow, what happened there? And it truly was a really interesting result. Michigan State have taken down some great teams, obviously have competed with the best of the best. Took down the Nittany Lions in the same week that they got swept by Rutgers, which is no small feat. Last week they took down the Ducks of Oregon 3-1. And over on the other side, Ohio State, they've had an interesting start too. The Buckeyes 2-2 already in conference play. Have had a loss to the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, which is a pretty crazy loss as Op-Bomb gonna get credited for this one. The demo plays, however, were the big thing to watch out in front. Morvu taking out the final defender. And Michigan State on the board early. Again, Ohio State. I mean, they've really just been... It's been really crazy to watch them so far. I mean, in non-conference play, they had the Sideline Sports Invitational, where they finished second just behind Louisiana Tech. One game away from winning that Invitational. And then, in conference play, as mentioned, they're 2-2. In week 1 of conference play, they got beaten by Minnesota and then went to game 5 with Oregon. And then last week swept Rutgers, the same team that swept this Michigan State team. Ohio State swept them and then got swept by the Boilermakers of Purdue. These two teams have been on a roller coaster to start here in CCS Season 5, as did see Morvu get goal number 2 for the Spartans. Michigan State, obviously still the heavy favorites in this one, but it's kind of gotten to the point where anything can happen any given night. You don't really know. So we're just going to have to wait and see kind of how everything elapses in this game. Ohio State looking for a big upset and a nice win on the tally, as CJ Fires is going to be saved away by Noxzilla. Morvu, low boost, tries to get it back to Op-Bomb. That he will. B-Boys, good play away. Running out of room here is Noxzilla on him. Trying to go back middle. Beautiful touch to Morvu. Plays it slow, but CJ on it. Op-Bomb can't stay in front. OSU looking to head back the other way. Will stay on the offensive side for the Spartans. Dan Wad up to B-Boys. CJ leaves it. Dan Wad fires from range. Morvu will make another big save. Michigan State been holding well, but Ohio State doing well, keeping it competitive early here in game number 1. And ultimately, that's all you want to see in a moment like this, where you have a top 10 team in the league going against a team who's a solid team at that, but not quite up to that top 10 margin. And we'll see what they're going to be able to do against the Spartans as this series develops. Dan Watt fires, saved by Morvu. He's been all over the place for Michigan State to get things underway. Up bomb, always a player's watch as he's going to set this one up, and Noxzilla will knock it down for him. 3-0 goes MSU. Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken, did fail to make the CCS National Championship Tournament last season. Did fall short, as that's a beautiful shot from Morvu, saved away. Yeah, I believe Ohio State had a tougher time last season, as Noxzilla just gonna get another one in. I mean, op bomb, slow play, then just a quick little air dribble into the crossbar, and no big deal. Ohio State, they did have trouble in the Big Ten last season. Finished 2-6 in conference play. Failed to make the conference tournament, but have had a much better start here in Season 5. And we'll see if this is their season to make that conference tournament push, and we'll see how far they can get. As you know, starting 2-1 in the invitational, and going 1-0 in their actual non-conference game. So 3-1 start in non-conference, and they're 5-3 overall with their conference rankings. But Michigan State will make quick work of them here in game number 1, 4-0. What felt like a big shutout. Ohio State had lots of opportunities, 9 shots, but 9 saves for Michigan State. Were with them every step of the way. Noxzilla getting 2 goals, picking up an assist, having 3 great saves. Morvu playing all over the place. Op bomb obviously doing a lot of setting up and saves and having that goal as well. B-Boys had some great saves. Dan Watt had some great saves, but ultimately Michigan State were in complete control right from the get-go. We'll see what Ohio State are going to be able to do and strategize going into the next game, but it's going to have to be a tall order versus the Spartans. As yeah, Michigan State, they're at the top of the CCS rankings for a reason. One of the big newcomers here in the Collegiate Conference Series, and everyone wanted to watch this team, and everyone has. Went 3-1 through non-conference play. Sweeping Iowa State was one of the big wins there. Big victory over the Cyclones, and suffered a tough loss to Drexel, 1-3. That was their only loss in non-conference play. And then their final two non-conference games were against Northeastern, where they went all the way to Game 5. The Huskies staying right up front to Michigan State, and then they swept Ball State, the Cardinals, that being the Ball State Black roster, which is a very big victory over BSU. And again, just shows why the Spartans are here and here to play. I think it was one of those situations where Michigan State, I think they had the 1 seed on lock, as Danwad misses a wide open net. He had low boost, and it was a bit of a tough angle off the crossbar, but still needs to be put away for Ohio State, as they had a chance to open things up with a lead and now might fall down. No, B-Boy's just able to trade his life for a touch. And the clear will be made by the Buckeyes. But if Michigan State didn't drop that 1 sweep to Rutgers, I think they were heavily in the running for an overall 1 seed going in to the national chip tournament, as Op Bomb will get things underway. Morvu, just a good send off the back wall. Op bomb, snapshot, puts it away, makes it look easy. But obviously, in that big 64-team bracket, there's 4 1 seeds, 1 out of each region, and Michigan State looks sure to lock down one of those. But after the loss to Rutgers, and again, a loss and a sweep to an unranked team is almost unheard of. And that affected their rankings quite a bit, going from top 3 all the way down to 7. And We'll see what it does for their seeding when the tournament comes around. Michigan State, one of those teams that is almost a lock in the national chip tournament. You know, they could maybe lose all their games from here on out, and they might still just secure that spot in the national championship tournament. Knoxzilla, a nice save as Up Bomb will shove him out of the way to try and take the shot himself. But 2 minutes gone here in game number 2. Michigan State just been able to stay out front. Up Bomb sealing. One touch trying to get it over to Morvu. No, fakes it. Let it fly all the way down. Knoxzilla gives it up to Donwad. Now it looks like, do we have a Rule 1 in the corner? It looks like we do. Far corner Morvu is now by him. Did he DC? Am I seeing things? I don't know. Knoxzilla fires, saved by B-Boys. I have to watch that one back. Knoxzilla just resetting, you know, kind of anywhere he wants. CJ back to that far corner. Morvu makes that 50 a little bit more awkward. Now we'll just play it away himself. Good 50 through B-Boys. Knoxzilla, good 50 himself. CJ slows things down past one. Morvu trying to get back onto his feet. The clear will be made by B-Boys. Morvu, good first touch, flip reset all by his lonesome on the offensive half of Michigan State. I will say they are looking very relaxed in this one. They don't seem too threatened by the Buckeyes as of right now. It's only a 1-goal lead, but we've yet to see a ton of offense connect as I say that. A beautiful 1-2 passing play from OSU. CJ to Danwad, top righty, can't miss. Perfectly placed, my word. And I'll just shut my mouth. Thank you, Buckeyes. The offense is up and kicking here with less than 2 minutes to go, but Michigan State looking to quickly respond and reclaim their lead. CJ fires Up Bomb. Will make the save to the far side now. Gets a good 50 through the midfield. Morvu, backboard, trying to get it down middle off the double. It'll fly too far past Up Bomb. B-Boys one touch. Knoxzilla doing a great job evading the physicality from Ohio State. This one dropping in. CJ, another nice clear out for OSU. Gets a good 50 through Up Bomb as well. Danwad corner. This one popped right back up in the midfield. Is there anyone up for Ohio State? No. It'll be cleared to well. Danwad, another quick cutoff, a back and forth. Really, here in the final minute, Knoxzilla, good beat pass two. Reset, tries to get another touch, can't get another. It'll be played away. Follow-up shot from Morvu, saved by Danwad. And now another big 50 sweeping through Up Bomb. Can't put it on target. Clear is made. Michigan State are getting slowed down in the last couple minutes, but Ohio State yet to really take control and sit in that driver's seat, as it still has felt like that is where the Spartans are living in this series. CJ sealing. Morvu, good 50 with Danwad. B-Boys low boost, just puts a shot on. Knoxzilla out to Up Bomb. CJ cuts it past him. Knoxzilla right back on it, gets it out to Up Bomb, looking for something late here. Danwad shuts it down. Morvu will let it drop in a Game 2 overtime. Ohio State, 1 goal, and they'll get the Game 2 victory, but the kickoff, not kind at all to the Buckeyes. Knoxzilla wins it through Up Bomb immediately off the hard sheet terms and Hunson for the demo, and leaves it wide open. Michigan State up 2-0 in the series, and Ohio State really need to flip the script versus the number 7 team in CCS right now. And it looks like they're going to immediately ready up. Sometimes you see teams kind of take a moment, take a minute between games 2 and 3 to try and re-strategize and hold off the sweep and try and figure out something to do different and take that little time out. But Ohio State immediately readied up, and it looks like it's actually Michigan State are the team who are slowing things down. We all knew going into this season that Michigan State were going to be a problem. They have established themselves as such, in Ohio State, after having a much better start to this season than they have in the past, really hitting the roadblock hard in week number 5. This being the third week of conference play. Michigan State also this week will take on Wisconsin. The Badgers should be able to make quick work over there. Then next week, we'll take on Illinois. And again, they're going to be the favorites in that matchup. But Illinois has been looking better as of late, so we'll see what happens. They also face off against the Washington Huskies next week. Should be able to pick up a dub. And then they end their season versus UCLA. So Michigan State, all of a lot of the tough teams out of the way. Illinois, I would say, would be the toughest on their schedule left to go. And we'll see how they fare against the Fighting Illini. Ohio State on the other side, they're still looking to kind of turn things around as B-Boys will open things up. Just a quick chip from Danwad, and Morvu wanted a nice redirect down and went right by it. So Ohio State on the board with a lead. Maybe make it 2-0. No, CJ can't quite get back to it. Up bomb forces this one would be played up awkwardly into the season. Danwad will leave it for CJ, the clear. Sent right back up. Ohio State on their sides of things. This week they also take on Penn State, this being easily the most difficult week for Ohio State, as they do have one of the toughest schedules in the Big Ten. As Knoxzilla going to equalize here off the pass from Morvu. Just a nice reset off the pop. A little bit too much hesitation from B-Boys, and we go 1-1. Ohio State, they do have one of the toughest schedules in the Big Ten. You know, last week facing off against Purdue and Rutgers. This week facing Michigan State and Penn State. Next week they face off against UCLA, and then the final week of conference play, they will go toe-to-toe with the Wolverines of Michigan, and what should be a fun rivalry matchup to watch there. But yeah, I mean, Michigan State should be able to work well going through it. Ohio State, they have had a lot of fight in this one, as Opbomb couldn't turn it in for the Spartans' first shot, just narrowly off of target, and then a quick response from the Buckeyes to keep it a little bit more safe. Opbomb to Knoxzilla, taking advantage of the space he has, goes for the demo, and he gets it. We have seen some big physical plays from the Spartans, and this being one of them. Knoxzilla looked like he was gearing up for the flick. Nope, I'm just going to storm in front and take out the final defender myself. Michigan State goes 2-1 up. Up bomb, one touch Morvu off that sidewall, trying to get back middle. He'll be turned away. Danwad far side. Knoxzilla is knock. Prosk. Morvu off sidewall. CJ there. Knock back on it. Played out. Morvu trying to chase it down. Now flip reset, ground pinch, slowed down and played well out by Ohio State. CJ looking to take as much advantage, as much space as he can get. Good save by Knock. Played right back over to Opbomb. Long range shot. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Michigan State up 3-1. And Prosk, a player on Northeastern, one of the players to go all the way to Game 5 with Michigan State. That being a fun series that I unfortunately missed, but was cool to see those two teams going at it. Some freestyling from the Spartans as they're up by only 2 with 2 minutes left to go. I don't think a lot of people are Rutgers Prosk, as for those of you who don't know, Rutgers maybe had one of the craziest, most nonsensical weeks I've ever seen in CCS. Had a doubleheader in week 3, the first week of conference play. As B-Boys, real quick, we'll get Ohio State back within 1. Big demo up front for CJ, giving Knock a taste of his own medicine. But first week of conference play for Rutgers. Swept Michigan State, who are a top 3 team in CCS. Swept the Spartans, and then turned around the next night and got beaten by the Washington Huskies. A team who has never made the conference tournament and who has not had the best results all throughout, and I don't know. Going from sweeping one of the best teams in CCS to losing to a team who you don't often hear a ton from is pretty insane. And now Ohio State trying to storm their way back and find something big here, going in game number 3 as down by 1. They have 40 seconds to try and turn it around. Did anyone watch what happened to MSU that game? I will say no, as Opbomb will drop a double, and that'll add on another for MSU. B-Boys just a little bit too awkward trying to reach it. Knocked down well, and yeah, I'm not certain what happened that series, but it would be a fun one to go back in the archives to try and find and watch what happened, because that is basically nonsensical. This one will be played away. Michigan State already kind of look like they're in their victory lap here versus Ohio State. B-Boys can't put it on target. CJ can't get it down. And it looks like time will expire here, as that'll look to be the end of it. Michigan State right back into top fashion as they will sweep Ohio State. A very convincing W for the Spartans, and ultimately, what a win for them. Ohio State, they'll drop a little bit lower in their overall record, but 3-game sweep go the Spartans. That being our second matchup of the day. We have one more starting in about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Robert Morris, Milwaukee. Robert Morris perfectly undefeated. We'll see if they can hang on to it. You're not going to miss it. But again, Michigan State sweeping Ohio State to add another win onto the tally. We'll be right back.